Imagine FM.
First of all, if I start with you, Zach, can you tell me a bit about the research and its findings?
So the research was conducted by Intraline, the UK media launch, which assessed people's attitudes to aesthetic treatments in the UK. And it showed that nearly one-third of UK adults have had aesthetic treatment for a change in their job or career, indicating the importance of youthfulness for success in their workplace. And it also showed a significant increase in the uptake of aesthetic treatments amongst men, and the fact that 1 in 5 women in the UK consider and have had dermal fillers to retain their beauty.
And would you say that sort of men and women attempting to try and sort of reverse the ageing process in order to boost their career, is that something that's becoming much more commonplace in recent years?
Absolutely. I mean, in clinic and practice, I see a lot more men and women, and there's significant demand for this kind of work in the last few months specifically. And I mean, it makes people feel more confident, and the confidence reflects on their work. And their industries, and of course for weddings, events, all of this stuff is very important to people nowadays, hence the increased demand.
And now over to you, Blair. The research says that it's both men and women who are doing this. Is that surprising to you?
No, I don't think it is. I think, the research shows that, I think it's becoming more open to talk about the treatments. I think it was maybe more taboo for men, but I think as more men are coming out and saying that they've had aesthetic treatments, it's just showing in the numbers that now people are, coming forward and saying, yeah, I've had it, there's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing to be ashamed about getting an aesthetic treatment.
And like we've just touched on, it's kind of a lot of people are doing this in an attempt to boost their career. Can you talk in a bit more depth about that and perhaps go through some of the other reasons why people are having these treatments?
From a personal experience, I use a lot of the preventative treatments, hyaluronic acid-based creams, serums. So, myself, want to kind of maintain that youthful appearance in career and kind of maintain that edge against the younger competition coming up to steal my job. And I think, people are also doing it for milestones in their life to celebrate their birthday. Maybe they're having a wedding and they want to look best on their wedding day. So no matter what the decision they're doing the treatment for, I think is highly personalized, and, everyone does it for a different reason.
And back to you, Zach. Do you think it's sort of right that men and women are trying to turn back the clock to further their career? Do you think that it's true that youthfulness is kind of equates to success in the workplace?
I think it's certainly important to acknowledge how common it is nowadays, and I think the word "right" is probably not the word to use. I think it's out of personal preference. I mean, there's the common saying, "You wouldn't go to a dentist with bad teeth." And I think that ethos reflects mainly in most industries. But the reason, just to echo what Blair was saying, why people are doing this, and the reason for this increased demand, is the fact that these kind of procedures, it's not like having plastic surgery or an operation where you go under the knife and you have to stay in hospital for a couple of days. This is something which is relatively simple to do. It's minimally invasive. It's reversible. It's certainly something that isn't permanent. And for many people, that seems an attractive approach. Now, when that's done safely and effectively with a good natural product, again, you're ticking all the boxes for people wanting to do all this. And that explains the increased demand amongst these groups.
Well, some excellent information and advice there. But where can people go if they would like to find out more?
I think there's twofold. From a product standpoint, you can go to Intraline.com. I think we have a whole section on educating yourself on the aesthetic industry. And then we partner with great clinicians and training facilities, especially Derma Medical. And Dr. Zach Ali, I think, will share the...
So dermamedical.co.uk is for practitioners wanting to train in these procedures, and dermamodels.co.uk is for people that want to actually consider having these treatments. And these websites, along with Intraline, go into detail to explain exactly what the experience involves, how to have the treatment, what it does for you, how long it will last, what can result as a complication, and how it can be managed. And I think all this information is very important for anybody considering these treatments, to be fully informed.
Wonderful. Dr. Zach Ali and Blair French, thank you very much for talking.